This second?
That's the, yes.
Yeah, okay, good, thanks. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the long day. It was a long day today, but a good day. We had a very emotional victory this afternoon. And you're always worried about a letdown after an emotional game like that, but man, we came out like gangbusters. Landon Marceaux set the tone. He just threw outstanding tonight. And then we hit those early home runs to give us the lead off a kid that pitched so well against us last year. The conditions were a little bit different this year. Last year, there was a stiff crosswind from the left field corner, right field corner. This year, there was a little bit of a prevailing breeze to left field, and we got into a couple pretty good ones. And the wind, I don't know that the wind helped those home runs, but certainly didn't hurt them. And so it was more of a hitter's environment, I think, this year. And we were able to get to him, unlike last year where he pitched so well against us. But we got an early lead, and then we're able to continue to tack on. Obviously, Drew Bianco had a big night with a couple of home runs. Brody Dross came back after a rough first game and had a big game for us in the second game. Dylan got us off to a good start with his George Springer imitation of leading off a game with a home run, which is what I envisioned. I think he led off the first game with a double, if I'm not mistaken. So, a lot of people wonder why I lead him off, but that's exactly why. You love to see a game be led off with an extra base hit, double or a home run, and give you an early lead. And that's what he did for us. I think that was the first game today. It seems like so long ago, I can't remember. But it was just good all around day for the Tigers to get 2 wins, and we'll get a well-needed day off tomorrow, enjoy the day off, and get back to work on Monday and a 5-game week next week.
Coach, could you foresee or did you anticipate this kind of power output? It's the most home runs through 7 games in 10 years. Did you see this coming, or could you have seen this coming?
Well, David, again, a lot of the time the conditions are significant factors. We had that cold snap that was really bitter, but then, right before the season began, it broke, and we've had unseasonably warm weather for the early part of the season, and the southerly winds, which gives your hitters a lot of confidence. If you can get the barrel out on the ball, the ball has a tendency to fly a little bit better. I knew we had some good hitters. Eddie Smith is an outstanding hitting coach and has done tremendous work with the guys, and he emphasizes attacking the ball and hitting the ball with authority. We didn't do that the first 2 games of the season against the Air Force Academy. It became a very big point of emphasis after that to go out there to the plate and really compete against the pitcher and generate bat speed and get the bat head out. And, once we started doing that, the ball started flying because of the conditions. And hey, listen, I'm not complaining. I love home runs as much as anybody. And, it's nice to see them. We still need to take advantage of some scoring opportunities that we're letting get away from us a little bit, keeping teams in games. The second game we were able to pull away, but we did squander an opportunity there early in the game. It didn't come back to haunt us as much as it did in the first game when we let a couple opportunities get away from us. But that's all part of the growing process and learning process. But I love the power. Hope we can do it all year.
Paul, long day. Landon Marceaux going 6 innings, 10 career high 10 strikeouts. What do you say about his and no walks? Was this maybe the most precise that you've seen him?
Hey, he was in a good rhythm out there. I mean, with 2 great starting pitching performances between he and AJ. And look at our 3 starters. I don't think our 3 starters gave up a run in these 2 days, did they? Yeah, you get starting pitching like that, you're going to have a chance to win some games. Landon was really in a groove. He was just outstanding. He and AD were really in sync, calling pitches and throwing the pitches. And Milazzo did a great job catching him. And when Landon's in a rhythm and he's throwing the ball with great command, his fastball is good movement, his velocity was good, his slider and changeup were outstanding. He's an outstanding pitcher, as are AJ and Jaden Hill. So it's a formidable starting rotation.
Coach, how big was it for you guys today to get a lot of efficient innings from both of your starters, knowing you got 18 innings to go today and you're trying to preserve as many of your bullpen arms as you can?
Yeah, well, we ended up using a lot of arms in that first game today, of course. And then the second game, we weren't thin. We had about, I think, 6 arms in the bullpen, and they were young kids. Well, we had McHale, we had Aaron George available, and Aaron ended up not even having to be used. But I felt pretty confident that Marceaux was going to pitch us deep in the game, and I wasn't going to hesitate to use those young kids. We need to get them out there. So, we had 18 innings, and you never know what was going to happen. Listen, things looked a little hairy in the first inning of the first game today when AJ allowed the bases to get loaded, and he didn't really look that sharp. And then he made some real big pitches to get out of that first inning of the first game, and then settled in and gave us 5 good innings, 5 shutout innings. That was huge, I think. But Marceaux was in complete command right from the beginning. Anything else?
Quick one about Cade Doughty. He went, I think, 4 for 6 today and has really picked it up for the last 4 games or so. What sort of changed for him after going hitless those first 2 games, or is that just baseball?
Yeah, he was hitting the ball hard early, Wilson, but he was just having some bad luck, just like last year. And, he's such a good hitter. You just got to let him just keep going up there and taking his swings and hitting the ball hard. And obviously that was a moment that was awesome, when he hit that walk-off home run, but he had a big game. I guess nobody's really aware that he actually got injured in the second game when Drew Bianco hit the first home run. Cade, nothing out of the ordinary. He just jumped up celebrating, and one of his teammates kind of accidentally bumped him in his shoulder. And it's kind of with freakish injury in a celebration, not in an unusual celebration, but his shoulder is pretty sore right now. We had to take him out of the game, and it'll be diagnosed on Monday to see what the extent of it is. I hope it's nothing too serious, but he was in quite a bit of pain there, and we had to take him out of the ball game. So, hopefully it's nothing too serious. We'll see early part of next week.
Coach, you mentioned at the beginning, you said that's why you had Dylan Cruz lead off for those doubles and home runs. Have you given any consideration to maybe moving him back a spot or 2 in the lineup to try and get some guys on base for those extra base hits?
Well, we might have to if Doty's out for a while. We'll see. But I like the way our lineup looks the way it is. If Cade Doty's in the middle of the order with Beloso, and the way Gavin Dugas has been driving in runs, Brody Drost, after the first game today against the lefty, he struggled, and the second game he got a hit off a lefty, which was a confidence builder. And then once they went to the right-handers, he had a big night in the second game. So I like our middle of the order. And Cruz, I think when that lineup turns over at the top of the order, is really intimidating to the other team's pitcher. But, we'll have to see the extent of Doty's situation and see how long he's going to be out, and see if we have to make any kind of change there now. I haven't really thought about it at this point. Okay.
All right, y'all can start with questions for Landon.
Landon, David from Rivals, was this just one of those games where kind of everything felt good and everything kind of felt on?
Yeah, body and arm felt great. The electricity there was on my fastball, and great carry through the zone, commanding it very, very well, and also commanding my off-speed pitches pretty well. I think tonight I just put it all together, and and it was one of those nights to just and then yeah, you're just excited about it. There's not a whole lot to say about it, but we're gonna move on from this one, and look forward to next weekend.
It seemed like you were the most impressive after the long layover with the big run output. Did you just feel like there was an itch? I want to get back out there, and then you were even more impressive?
Yeah, during that long inning, I actually went over to AD and was like, man, it's a love-hate relationship with these long innings, man, because you're scoring a bunch of runs, but you're sitting for a while, and those are the toughest situations to pitch in actually, because you start to lose focus a little bit, and it's it's how well can you maintain your focus? Can you bring your focus back out there, being up 10 runs at that point, or 8 runs, whatever it was? But and I was able to do that. Stay loose in the dugout, moving around, keep the blood flowing, and go out there and focus on making pitches. And like AD says, once the cleat's on their throat, you press it down.
Hey Landon, it's Glenn here from LSU Country. Coach just mentioned, between you, AJ and Jaden, you guys didn't allow, a run at all this weekend. I mean, just how much do you guys talk, after a start or after a weekend about just how well you guys are gelling, and just kind of talk about how y'all's fast start here to open.
Yeah, I think it's, obviously us 3 starters all kind of stick together, and all kind of help the younger guys and all. And I think it's more of a, how well can we one up the guy before us? Jade leaves it off, and then, I come in behind. Well, this weekend AJ was earlier, but it's, can we one up each other? How much better can we do? And we kind of use that as motivation, and you got 3 great arms during the weekend, and it's going to be a fun year to go forward. Very challenging year, but we're gonna, it's going to be a great year.
AJ suspected after game 1 that the momentum created by Doty's homer was going to kind of spill into game 2. Paul was a little bit worried that it could end up being a letdown. What did you feel from you and your teammates going into game 2?
Yeah, well, at that point, I was in the locker room actually getting ready, getting dressed and all for the start. And I was watching it on TV. I wasn't able to be out there and feel that energy. But, in the locker room, I saw him hit that homer. I was like, man, how fast do I have to get ready? When's the next game? And so at that point, it was exciting, but, we have another one to take care of. That one doesn't carry over, for me at least, into that next one, because I'm so focused on that. But I think it did carry over for the hitters for sure. All that momentum is big for them.
I guess just big picture here, y'all have now won 5 straight. Your offense has scored like 52 runs in 5 games or something like that. Where do you guys feel like you're at as a team kind of going into a stretch? We've got a whole bunch of games here over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think we're momentum's on our side for sure. We're hitting the ball extremely well. We're throwing the ball great. Some young guys are stepping up to the plate and doing some damage. And as well as on the pitching side, some young guys are coming out of the bullpen and doing very, very well. And we're going to need that this year. We know it's the game starts to speed up, and it really gets to grinding, during the middle to the back end of the season. And we're going to need those young guys to really step into some big situations to succeed, and early in the season, it's we're getting a feel for who we can go to in big spots, and then they're really stepping up to the plate.
Landon, when everyone's celebrating there after a walk-off, where do pitchers work in on that? You guys get into the excitement just as much in the pile, or what? Usually
we do. Like I said earlier, I was getting ready for this start of mine, and I was in the locker room, but unable to be out there. But I'm sure everybody was out there jumping around the bullpen. I'm sure it was crazy. Anytime someone hits a walk-off like that, after I think Cruz walked, if I'm not mistaken, and then was able to, get a ball thrown away and actually advance to third, so we didn't really need a homer in that situation, but we'll take it for sure, so.
Is that all for Landon? Thank y'all.